guys, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. So in this Python tutorial we're going to be going over something that I've done previously in other videos. So this one is going to be the buttons. I'll link the old video above in a card or something. But yeah, we're going to be going over this again due to the fact that I think that tutorial is rather outdated. Not outdated, but someone said about the size of the text was hard to read on mobile devices and stuff, and so I decided I was going to remake this video, obviously with a better size ratio so that you can see it better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by importing pygame. So this is what we're going to be using for the canvas, and then we're going to init pygame.init with parentheses, and it's going to initiate pygame. Now we're going to define a few colors. So we're going to need red, and we're going to need light red. Now this is just for the fact that when we color something, so the buttons on the screen are going to be colored, we're going to use red and light red to do those colorings, and so we're going to start off with 200, 0, and 0, and that's the color for red. Now, because this is RGB, so red, blue, green, RGB, so red, green, blue, and yeah, so then we're going to go 255, 0, 0, and that's red 200, red 255, with 0 of the other two colours mixed in. We can obviously do this for other colours as well. I don't know if you know how the colours work, but there's probably tutorials elsewhere. Otherwise, leave a comment below asking for help. So I'm going to be using presets from the banking program that I'm going to be doing a video on sometime shortly, and so we're going to be putting this in. I'm going to leave this in the description below just because I don't want to have to type this all out because it's not actually relevant to the tutorial. I can obviously do a video on this information in the future if you guys want it. But yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to define the first function. So the first function is button. We're going to pass into this quite a few functions. We're going to pass in the text, so the text that you want on the button. We're going to display the X position and Y position. And we're also going to ask for the width of the button, so how wide you want the button, and the height of the button, so how tall you want it. We're going to have the inactive color, so this is going to be the standard color. So that's just say when your mouse is nowhere near it, it's going to be just red, and when you take your mouse over the top of it, it's going to change to say light red, so that it shows that it's active when you put your mouse over it. So you're going to also have to put active color. We're also going to want the action, so action, if not anything, it's equal to none, and that's just standardized due to the fact that if there's nothing being passed in, then it's not relevant. Okay, so we're going to now have to find the cursor position, so we're going to write cur equals, so that's the cursor position, pygame dot mouse dot get underscore position with parentheses, and that's going to get the position of the cursor on the screen. We're also going to go click equals pygame dot mouse dot get underscore pressed. Okay, so that's going to get when the mouse is clicked. I assume if we it's fine. Okay, so now we're going to write an if statement. So if x plus width is greater than cur 0, so that'll be the x position of the cursor, and is greater than x. So that's if the position of the cursor is between the top of the button and the bottom of the button. Wait, no, the side of the button and the side of the button. Sorry, it'll be y position. And this is where we're going to do the y position. Y plus height is greater than cur 1, which is the Y position of the cursor, is Y. So if that's about in between the top and the bottom of the button, so obviously if the cursor is within, say, the square of the button, then it detects that. And then we're going to go semicolon, and we're going to go pygame.draw.rect screen. So that's going to draw it to the screen. Now we want to go active color. Active color. So that's going to draw it to the screen with the active color. And then we're going to go X, Y, width, height. Wrong one. Height. So it's going to draw it to the screen with the active color. Say the mouse is over it, it turns active. At X, Y position with the width and height the same as the button. Okay, so now we just want to quickly go and add another if statement. So if click 0 is equal to 1, so that's with if the click is equal to 1, so if nobody's pressed any buttons, it is always equal to 0, and when it's clicked it turns to 1. And action is not equal to none, then if action is equal to quit, because for this we're going to be using the values that I put in my banking program, because that's the most relevant thing at the moment that I can give you information on. Pygame.quit, so that's going to quit pygame and then quit the code. Okay, so then elif action equals deposit. There we go. Bad spelling coming in again. Then print you wanted to make a deposit, and we're going to put that print statement in there to show. How can I explain that? I just need to quickly do this so we can push it up a bit. Okay, so that's going to show that the buttons do different things. So we're just going to do another elif statement. Elif action equals withdraw, and we're going to take this print statement here. Oh, can't get it. There we go. Copy, paste. Withdraw, and we're going to put a question mark after both of those because they're questions. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I'm a bit of a OCD about that sort of stuff. And so that's going to just define, that's just going to show the difference between the two buttons that are being clicked. So going back to this one here, we go else. We're going to do just this code here. Copy, paste, and inactive color, because it's just using the opposite color and it's just drawing the square as if it wasn't active. Alright, now I want to send text _to button. Now we're going to send text black, so that's the color, X, Y, width, and height. And now we're going to write that function. So the text to button function is reasonably short. Define text _to underscore button. This is going to take a while because there's quite a lot of functions being passed into it. So we're going message, message, color, button X, button Y, button width, button height, height, and size. Make them small. Now this is where the code up here comes into play. You've got small font, and we're going to be writing a function for size small soon. So we pass in the message, which is the text, the color, which is black, X and Y position of the button, so that's so that the text is pushed onto the, or is always on the button width and button height, so that it can center the text, and the size of the text on the button. Obviously you can change that, but its default value is small. So now we want to go text surf, so text surface, text rect equals text score objects. We don't need to, oh no, we're good. Okay, then we want to go message, message, oh my god, color, so that's passing off to another function to get the size of the font, that sort of stuff, because text object is another function that we're going to write soon, and size. It's going to pass those off to that to get those variables. Now we're going to go text rect, which is the value in text surface, dot center equals double parentheses button plus button width divided by 2. So that's going to get it in the center of the button on the x-axis. Obviously it will still be pushed up to the top at this stage. And then we want to go button, how does this work? Yeah, button, so we want to go button X there and button Y there, plus button height divided by 2. Ooh, other way, wrong division. Okay, there we go. Okay, and that's going to get it in the position center of the height, the Y position of the button. And then we're going to go to next thing. We're going to go screen dot blit. So this is going to draw it to the screen. Text surf and text rectangle. Alright, so that will do it for the first episode. We coded quite a bit in there in the last 13 minutes. We'll work on the next 2 parts, I think, in the next episode. So stay tuned for those, and they'll be up straight after this. See you. Alright, hello there guys. You've obviously made it to the end of the video, so you've obviously enjoyed it or had to watch the whole thing at least. So if you could consider subscribing, that would be a great help to my channel. If you have any suggestions for future videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Like the video to show your support to me, so that I know whether you like the content that I'm making. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. See you.